What is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen here, your internal strength coach, here to show you how to overcome your greatest challenges so you can shine your brightest light. It is Friday, October 26, 2018, and the message that I have prepared for you today is about when you're having trouble sticking to your diet and having trouble sticking to your exercise routine. So, pretty much for the most part, I would say every American out there is thinking a lot about what they're eating and their exercise routine. And there is a large majority of the population that is struggling with these things. And what a lot of people that are very ingrained and very committed to their exercise and their diet from the outside, from the inside looking outside of these people will say things like, you know, they're pussies, they're not motivated, they're lazy, and all this stuff. And, you know, it's my belief that that is not true, that it's not a problem of willpower, that it's not always a problem of, motivation, laziness. Yes, those things absolutely exist. But I want to speak specifically to the people that have issues. They have the motivation, they want to commit to the diet, they want to commit to an exercise routine, and say they only show up maybe like 2/3 of the time on their diet, 2/3 of the time to their planned days to go to the gym. And that continues to be a consistent thing for them where they keep failing. They keep this thing up of where they only show up part of the time and then they quit and then they try to come back later on and then it's like the same results all over again. So, like, I have two contrasting clients right now. I have one who he shows up every workout, he follows the diet, he's very honest about the fact that there are some things that he doesn't feel like he can cut out, like he still likes to do some drinking, he still likes to have his alcohol, he's still going to occasionally go out to eat. He's very realistic about, the boundaries that he puts up on what he's willing to do. But he puts up these boundaries, but then he sticks with them. He says he's going to show up. He says he's going to commit to the diet, that I gave him almost 100%, and he's doing awesome. On the flip side, I have a client who only shows up 2/3 of the time, only, eats her diet 2/3 of the time. And what I've noticed is that I think the difference between the two, it's not motivation, it's not laziness, it's not willpower. The woman is super motivated. She's very motivated. She wants to dive right in. She wants to take care of this stuff. She wants to kick it in the teeth. She's like, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do all this stuff in the gym. I'm going to totally commit to the diet. But yet she still finds excuses to cancel. She still cannot say no to food in the house that she's not supposed to be eating on her diet. My observation, where this kind of like transcends like my skills as a personal trainer, but then also as a health and lifestyle coach, is that the male doesn't really have a whole lot of emotional blocks in his life. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of the shadow work that some people, like I believe that the female has and like that I have too, which is clearing like mental and emotional blocks. When I talk about the shadow work, there, it's why you look around in society and you see that some people seem to have it easier than others. Some people just have to, they, whatever you want to call it, better luck, better looks, born into, a certain type of lifestyle, they were raised well or something like that. I believe it's more of a karmic thing, okay, that it's just more of a karmic balance where he just happens to not have as much to deal with and overcome in this life as the woman does. And that doesn't mean that maybe in a different life, maybe the male had it really hard and she had it really easy or something. Who knows how it really works. But the thing is that my assessment of her is that she definitely has, a really, touch and go relationship with food, like a lot of us have. And that there's just there's something blocking her from showing up on the diet, showing up on the exercise routine 100% of the time. Okay. So, you know, if you're one of these people that, if this sounds like you, if it sounds like you want to go to the gym, you want to diet, but you can't bring yourself to do it, or you've tried and then you fail, or especially if you kept trying and you keep failing, do not beat yourself up about it. Honestly, it just means that there is more work that you have to do internally before you can work on the external. Like, it's to the point where it doesn't matter how much, you know, motivation you have to work on the outside of your body. There's these programs running underneath, you know, mentally and emotionally, that you need to deal with, that's going to prevent you from getting the body that you want, essentially. And I had another client, she was great, you know, she did really well with the lifting and everything, you know, with lifting weights, her exercise routine. She did good with the diet, you know, easy to work with. But you could also tell that from the way that she talked, because, you know, personal training clients talk about what's going on in their life, the way that she would talk about situations with other people, other outside relationships, you could start to pick up on that there was like this really kind of dark relationship, I think, with herself internally, where she kind of viewed the world as, you know, people were kind of like out to get her, you know, like kind of seeing the world in this perspective of, you know, that she had to put herself out in the world and seem like super perfect and pristine and polished, because she was so scared, you know, of what was like really going on underneath, which was like maybe an aspect of not loving herself enough. I'm not really sure, without ever actually having coached her. There's no way to know for sure, but she was the prime example of somebody who was doing all this work on the outside, but she was not working on the internal at all. She was not doing the shadow work. She was not working on those mental emotional blocks. She was not doing anything to basically strengthen her psyche, to strengthen her emotions. You know, emotional mastery is huge. And that's not to say, like, you know, not letting your emotions affect you. It's actually more about learning what they mean and learning that they're not bad, actually, but that's for another day. So, and then my experience was a little bit different, where, you know, I didn't, you know, I've eventually got tired of, you know, like the one step forward, two steps back thing. And then I committed very deeply, you know, to the exercise routine and the diet. Well, actually, I guess my experience was a little bit similar to what she needs to go through, where it's like I did all the physical, okay? Like I perfected the diet, I perfected the, you know, going to the gym. Like I never ever missed days. And yet, not only one, was I still not getting like the results that I should have been getting physically in the gym because of all the work I put in, but I still wasn't happy. My body still hurt. You know, I still did not have a lot of energy. So, you know, you kind of, I mean, this is where the measure of success like really comes in, right? It's like, if you're, you know, going to the gym and you're doing all this stuff and you're trying to perfect everything physically, but you're still not getting like the results that you should be getting, that exercise and diet is supposed to give you, which is better health, more vitality, you know, more energy, more concentration, you know, focus, all that stuff, then something's wrong. Something's either wrong with what you're doing for the exercise or the diet, or it goes deeper, okay, with the mental emotional aspect of it. So the point of this video is that what I want you guys to be thinking about is that the diet and the exercise is not everything, okay? Most people are going to start at the top of what I call the funnel, you know, where you like go from like the physical, you know, down to the like the mental, emotional, and then even the spiritual levels. But if you're in that space and it's just like not working, then honestly, like it's a call to, you know, go deeper with things. And it's, you know, this isn't to say that there's anything wrong with wanting to look great. You know, if you know, getting a great body, if looking a certain way is going to, you know, inspire a certain level of self-confidence, if it's going to allow you to be more authentic, to shine your brightest light, then absolutely go for it. But on the inverse, if you're doing it to protect, and this is a lot of people, this is a lot of us, if you're doing it to protect the real you that's actually beneath the surface, that you're putting this facade over because you don't feel that that version is good enough to put out in the world, then you need to really think about whether or not you actually have a healthy relationship, you know, with diet and exercise that you're supposedly doing for health, but is it really healthy? So if you guys, if this sounds like, you know, you like anyone I described here, or if you know someone like this and you do want to go deeper with this, I mean, that's you know, kind of like my target audience right now for coaching those people, is helping them with these blocks. You know, let me help you remove those blocks, guide you to how you can remove those blocks so you can go, and if you want to get the body and, you know, the image that you want. But I find it really tough, you know, when I have a client or when I see people out there that are really, really struggling, you know, with the physical side of things, and they're you're to me they're just very blocked, and they need some assistance. So you can send me an email, ericrosencoaches@gmail.com, if you're interested in personal training or health or lifestyle coaching. You know, I meet you where you're at. It's whatever you want to work on. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for stopping by today, and I will catch you tomorrow. Thanks.